All right, everybody, welcome back to The Missing Men. I'm into episode 2. I had a little bit of feedback over the first video, so I decided I'm going to make a second one. I'll admit this one will probably be a little bit more on the lighter, hopefully more humorous side. But for anyone, we are still trying to figure out exactly how to make everything work. I'm not tech savvy whatsoever. My previous video is on YouTube, but we're trying to figure out how to get everything taken care of. But as it goes right now, we will post this to Facebook. For anybody that wants to see it, it will go into YouTube, but we're struggling to find how to tell you exactly how to find it on there. But I digress. Today's message I'm going to go with, like I said, I wanted to be a little bit lighter on this. I had something to come up to me, and it was, when did things become so gross? Now, everybody knows, if you're a parent, if you're a brother, if you're a sister, it doesn't matter. You know there's coming a time when someone in the younger generation has just looked at you and said, no, that's gross. If you're a dad and you hear your son say that, you're sitting there thinking, put your hands in it, it's okay. If you're looking at some kid that's just not willing to step out on that ledge because they don't want to touch it, it's gross. You know what I'm talking about. I'm reminded of a couple of stories that just happened within my family. I had one family member when he was a toddler. If he sneezed and snot came out, it was as if there was poison that had gone to his face. And by touching it, I promise you, I think he felt his fingers would just corrode away. It usually turned into some episode of just standing still, waiting for somebody to get it off of his face because it was gross and he just couldn't handle it. I have another family member. His first time that he caught a fish, stoked. He got him a bass. It was a great day. First fish he had put on a line by himself, reeled it in. I'm thinking this is a monumental moment. He's going to be so excited. Gets the fish to him. Now it's time to take the fish off the hook. And as I started this episode, got hit with no. I got the proverbial, ooh. Now, a part of that, I think, was a little bit more about the sharp hook that's within the fish's mouth, and the fish is floating around, and there may have been a fear of a hook being stabbed into an individual that may have went into that. But I'm telling you, you swore that fish was an unstable nuclear device that's about to go off. Needless to say, the fishing trip got closed to an end because I placed let's just say I gave one option. Either take the fish off the hook or we're gone. Needless to say, we left. The fishing trip was over. But by a few years down the road, that same individual absolutely loves fishing. Doesn't mind touching them, doesn't mind getting them off a hook, knows how to bait a hook, knows how to fish, knows how to do all that. I say all that just to kind of give some for instance. I'm sure you're sitting there thinking of a story yourself that you've gone through. Now I go back to when I was a kid. Now some of y'all listen to me, you're going to go, oh yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. My generation, we were obsessed with mud. We had a place you took your truck to and you ran around in a field. You just covered your truck with mud. You covered yourself in mud. By the time ATVs really started coming about, that was, you had made it if you had a four-wheeler and could go out and just get muddy, get covered in it. I mean, we looked at people that put it on their face to make their skin glow. We were covering our whole bodies with it because it was fun. I mean, even when I was a kid and had to clean stalls, I never really thought about the fact that I'm shoveling crap. I did not see crap that was in the stalls as if it was the next global pandemic that's going to cause me such grief and could cause the potential outbreak to take over the world. No, it was just a chore. I went and did it because my dad's sitting there telling me, hey, do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I did it. I didn't think nothing about it. But now I look back on it and go, oh my goodness. When did things become so gross? What happened? Now, I talk about fishing in a previous example I give. I'm an outdoorsman. I love the outdoors. I love anything outdoors. I don't want to be caught up in a house and just have to stay in here. I like to be outside. I like to get dirty, to be quite honest with you. One of the things when I was in college, I was a horticulture major. And I had a nursery that they had these shirts that they made. It says, I love to play in the dirt. And when we had events we had to go to, and this particular nursery was there, they would bring shirts, and we wanted to get those shirts. I had one, loved it. Big brown letters across the front. I love to play in the dirt. I'm wearing it on college campus. But it fit me. It really did, and I don't mean in size. It fit me in my personality. I loved playing in the dirt. I loved being outside. I loved doing those things. Then I became a dad, and all of a sudden I'm seeing all these things going, ew. No, ooh. And I'm sitting there going, you're missing so much stuff. So then I started thinking about it when I decided this was going to be my topic. Have we missed something? And I don't mean something inconsequential. I genuinely mean, as men, again, this whole series that I'm working on, it's about men, but ladies, please listen to it. If it's something, I promise you, if you're a single mom and you come across this and you're going, I wish somebody could just tell my kids something like this, use it, please. So this message can go to so many other places. What have we missed? In getting dirty, what have we missed? So I started thinking about that. Now, please, go along with me here. I want to go a little bit deeper about getting dirty. In life, I believe everybody that chooses to watch this will know of a time when you have heard, life's messy. At this moment, you just went, You're thinking about something where life is messy. Why is that statement existing? Why is it so well used? Why does it come into play in so many instances? It's because it's real. Life requires you to be dirty sometimes. It requires you to dig in. It requires you to sweat. It requires you to put effort that just makes you dig and dig and dig and dig. And sometimes you mess up. Sometimes it's already dirty and you just make it nasty. But that's life. Man, if you're a father, if you're a brother, whatever, if you want to look at this from a coworker level, I promise you, we mess up. We're going to. It's okay. That's life. It's all right to be messy. The thing is, understand what being messy does. It's shaping us. We're taking that mess. We're taking that gross. We're taking that nasty. Man, we're going to polish that thing up. And the next time it rolls around, it's something better. We're going to take that messy moment when all of a sudden the fish just was not going to come off the hook by itself. And we're going to see that it's not messy. It's not scary. It's just a fish. We put our hands around that fish. We take that hook out of its mouth. We put it back in the water. It's okay to be messy. Guys, I want you to think about one particular profession. Anybody out there that this is your profession, you my man. I want you to think about the modern day carpenter. I don't necessarily mean, for anybody that knows this name, I'm not necessarily talking just about Norm Abram and the new Yankee workshop. I'm not talking about the old school Bob Vila from this old house. I'm meaning those guys. I'm also meaning contractors that's building homes or anybody that's taking these and taking wood or whatever, and they're making something out of it. I mean, they're covered in sawdust. They're covered in sweat. They got their hands all cut up. They got their clothes stained, whether it's wood stain, whether it's putty that's all over. There's guys you can think about right now that you've looked at and you've seen them in a store getting a drink or whatever, and you went, oh my goodness, that guy is nasty. Just nasty. I've helped my father-in-law before painting, and I have witnessed him to where the only thing I could see of his actual flesh that wasn't just pure white was where he had his mask on and his goggles. When he took it off, it's like he was Casper everywhere except where that mask was. He's covered in stuff. We walk up in the store looking like that. And I'm sure there's people going, oh, nasty. But guess what? That's real. That's builders, that's contractors, that's carpenters. I want you to think about what some of these things these men and women do. You can see I'm sitting at a table. Somebody built this table. It means more than just the boards that's there. They got dirty with it. They stained it. They did their work to make it look like it does. They worked on family heirlooms that gets passed down from generation to generation. They had mathematics and science that they learned. So that way, when they built something, the angles that went together were straight. They knew what it had to be. It was right. I want you to think about that carpenter. Think of somebody. You know someone. Those people built something out of their bare hands. They went through that gross, that nasty, that dirty. They made something beautiful out of it. Again, think of somebody. Imagine. I want you to think of how important the carpenter is. Think about those items that they made. Maybe you've got something in your house that you can look at and go, that's been in my family for 3 generations. It's still going. Maybe it's some table yourself. Maybe it's some cabinet that was made. There's another carpenter I want you to think about. Jesus was a carpenter. Think about how dirty he got. I mean, just wearing sandals, working on whatever. Think of the modesty of what he showed. But that was the king. That carpenter was God's son. He could have been anything, but he was a carpenter. He took that life that was covered in dirt, covered in sweat, and look what it turned into. Today, I want y'all to think about that symbolism. I want you to think about how something can be dirty, while at the same time, it can be absolutely beautiful. Men, let's stop being worried about something being dirty, being nasty. Let's stop letting people thinking because it's dirty or nasty, we don't need to do it. Maybe we need to stick our hands down in mud. Maybe we need to take our kids down to some creek and just play in the mud. For goodness sakes, maybe we just need to go out and play in the rain. Don't deny yourself of it. Don't deny yourself the chance to show somebody that nasty, that gross can change who you are and what you're about. Guys, great talking to you. I hope this does something to help somebody out. Again, I want to keep these going. I thank those for feedback that came to me personally and talked about my first episode. So I hope it means something to you. I'm trying to whittle down the time a little bit, and I'm sorry. It keeps going a little bit further than I want to. But thank y'all for your time. Y'all have a good day.